spiritual minded.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. They know that, even if they don't know me any more than they know the chairman of General Mills.
Christlike 3, well, mixtape Christlike 3, The Fresh Prince and Yet to the Throne. I guess one is, it's a song I got called One Day.
Okay.
This song is really just telling a story about a situation that happened last year. Me and my wife, we went to Miami to celebrate our anniversary, and it's really just talking about me getting pulled over by a cop, basically being racially profiled, I feel. And if you watch Fresh Prince, you know the episode when Will and Carlton, they was headed to Palm Springs.
Right.
And the people let them drive their car, the BMW, down to Palm Springs. I think they were flying or they went some other way.
Right.
And so basically they drive this nice, expensive car, and they get pulled over by the cops because you see these two black individuals driving this nice, expensive car in a wealthy neighborhood. What's going on here? And so basically I just had that clip playing in there, and this is telling the story that happened between me and my wife and a police officer when we got pulled. And I didn't do anything illegally. I'm sitting at the stoplight. I made a right turn on red. The cop following behind me, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because actually the cop was in the left lane. He wasn't even behind us. And when I turned the light, his light turned green. He jumped over and got behind us. So I'm like, okay, something is obviously wrong here because I didn't do anything. And basically that song is really just telling how I felt, how my wife felt throughout that situation, being stereotyped. So
okay. The name of that was what?
One Day.
Okay.
And it's basically saying one day that I hope people change. One day I hope that we don't have to go through these types of things anymore.
All right.
That's the direction of the song. Another song, what else I got? There's a song called The Hard Way.
Okay.
And this song I actually writing to my godbrother. I think he's 19 now, and he's at that point where he wants to rebel and do his own thing, and he met, another girl who's of a different race, but he's leaving his whole family for her.
As you can tell, we outside live, you know what I'm saying, got planes flying over our head, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was hoping it would pass by fast, so I was trying to talk slow. But yeah,
those are low too.
That song was made specifically for him, basically saying that, what you doing, you don't need to be doing.
Right.
I've had real man-to-man conversations before with him. It's just one of those things, like when you talk to somebody on the phone,
right,
they're 100% receptive to you.
Right.
But then when they get out, you get off the phone, hang up, they do their own thing. Like, didn't we just talk? Like,
right.
I said, just stuck with you.
Right.
So I just felt like, I had to make a song that to really voice my opinions and what I really felt. Like, you don't really want to listen to me, and I talk to you and give it 100 to you, and I'm going to make a song so you can listen to it, and you can really see where I'm coming from. I'm 100% blunt with you.
Right.
That was a song I really made for him, and like I said, I hope you heard it. I'm not even sure if he heard it. I sent him a link to it, on his Facebook page, like, you need to listen to this. Because, the kids are our future, man. Of course, a loved one, family members, we don't want to see them get hurt. We don't want to see them in any trouble. And I can just tell that the road that he was on is a negative road. I've been down that road before. And it's called The Hard Way because I told this at the end of the song. There was a situation when I was young. I was 17 years old, and I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. And the police officer ran up on me.
Right.
And my first instinct was like, run, take off. And he could see it in my eyes that I was thinking about something. And he said, young man, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And that was something that's always stuck with me.
No doubt.
I could have easily took off, but
yeah,
like they got my face on camera, and
yeah.
So that was the whole thing about the song, and it said that in the hook, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. So it's actually just reaching out to him. And I said one more, right?
Yep.
Oh, there's a song. What's it called? I can't think of the name of the song. I can't even think of the name of the song, but it's actually one of my favorites too. My wife was actually singing on it.
Okay.
It's the Kendrick Lamar song, "Don't Kill My Vibe."
Okay.
Remixed that song, and that song is basically saying that. Now the chorus if you know the original song, but my wife, how she's singing it, it's saying, I am a sinner, I know I'm gonna sin again. How does song go? Lord, please forgive me. I can't even remember. I gotta be singing it, and I don't want to sing because I sound bad. So, but basically, he's saying that we're born sinners,
right.
And no matter if we're Christian right now, we still gonna mess up along the road,
right?
You know what I mean, we're gonna do something wrong. So basically saying, Lord, I love you. Lord, if I mess up, because I know I'm gonna mess up again, please forgive me for when I mess up down the road.
Right.
Because just know that my heart is pure, and I say a line in the end, I'm not a repeat offender. Like, Lord, please. Don't let me I'm not going to do the same sin. If I sin, it'll be a different sin. Because if I do the same sin, that means I'm doing it on purpose. I'm stuck in my ways. So if I do sin, Lord, hopefully it'll be a different sin. But it's just saying that we are all sinners. And Lord, just forgive me if I ever sin again. So that's the whole point of that song.
No doubt. Tell everybody the name of the album again.
Name of the album, Christlike 3, The Fresh Prince and the Heir to the Throne.
Alright.
Mr. John Duncan Music.com. I'm about to give you my other website. I do have another website, which is MrJDTV.com. That's like a blog site where I put up like random videos, and if I'm chilling out with the homies or just hanging out, we may be having a dialogue or a conversation, I may decide to post it. So it's been a while since I posted something. I always put my videos up there, but you can find me up there too.
Alright. Future plans?
Future plans, man. Just working. So I told you I may do the album, and see the thing is with this album, like I'm not sure. Everybody's different, Like some people, a lot of Christians, they hate secular music. They say don't listen to secular music, it's of the devil, and I'm not sure how you feel. Your take is.
Right.
I still listen to secular music.
Right.
I don't have a problem with it. And
we play secular music.
You do?
Like I play like inspirational music and positive joints by people. When I did a show about the kids, I played Nas I Can, because even though I think that's an inspirational joint.
Yeah, it is.
Mother's Day, I played Dear Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, we play joint, yeah.
Okay.
So you might hear some Mary J. Blige, some India Ari, you might hear some Nas, Talib Kweli, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder, because like when you put me, I was looking at the track list, I didn't see nothing that was...
Maybe not on that show.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just whenever I do. Like, I don't do it just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah.
Just when I feel it, that's
it feels right.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, but so listen to music. I feel like Kendrick Lamar, I'm a fan of Kendrick Lamar. The dude is a beast lyrically.
Right.
And when you listen to his album, like that album right there is a game changer. Like,
right.
How he put it together, the whole concept. And I don't want to be a copycat when it comes to music, but he pushed the envelope.
Right.
Like, a lot of these albums that come out now, I can't even listen to them because they're not even on that level of quality put together from a concept.
Right.
From a concept and everything. And so I'm thinking about if I do this next album, because the album is kind of similar to what he put out.
Right.
Because I kind of feel like Kendrick Lamar is somewhat the same person as I am and a lot of people out there.
Right.
Good Kid, Mad City. I always told people, I had a song called I'm Good. It was my second song that I put out, had a video on BET, Gospel Music Channel, Word Network, everywhere. And I always tell people, I was a good kid that made bad decisions in my life.
Right.
And a lot of that, it relates right to Good Kid, Mad City, because the world, the environment that we live in, I'm not a product of my environment.
Right.
But sometimes the environment that we're in, it can actually make us do certain things that we wouldn't normally do. Like, I was one way, I guess, maybe at home with mom and dad's. With my friends, I was somebody else. With my girlfriend, I was somebody else.
Right.
I'm all these three different people. And I feel like, for instance, my parents, they didn't really know me because I wasn't home with them enough. I go to school, I play sports, I had a job. So I'm at school all day, I get out of school, I go to basketball practice. I got out of basketball practice, I gotta go to work. When I come home, it's 9 o'clock, mom and pop stay in the bed. How much time do they spend with me today? They don't really know who I am as a person. We didn't even get the chance to sit down and dialogue. And I felt like my parents didn't even know who I was as a person until really I graduated college. And I became a man, and I was living my own life. And it was times that I could go back home now and we just relax. And we on vacation, And these are the times where you really getting to know me because we on vacation, because we just chilling now. I'm home Christmas break. I'm spending it all day with you. I couldn't spend all day with you when I was a kid. And I feel like I got a story just to tell, you know? And I think it may be slightly inspired by what Kendrick did with that album, but I feel like there's so much of me in there, and there's so many people that can be touched just by hearing the story. And I think so many people can relate to it, you know, like Kendrick, myself, we're not the only people, you know, who live that certain way, you know, that certain lifestyle where you're a good kid. You got people out there who are bad. There are some people who don't really know right from wrong. You know, you grow up a certain way. They
want to do good. Some of them want to do good. They just don't know how to do it.
They don't, because
they've never had an example.
When the Bible says, train up a child in the way that they should go, when they grow old, they won't depart from it. That's a biblical scripture, but I believe it operates in every aspect of your life. If you a person who grow up maybe on the projects, being on welfare, and your child sees that's training in their mind. They can grow up and do the exact same thing because they've been trained. That's what they saw. I remember Benny Siegel said in the song, he said, I thought the welfare money was real money. Because that's what he saw. He didn't never see real money. That's what he thought. Because that's what was in his mind. There's certain people who grow up, they see things so much, and they don't realize that what they're doing is wrong until they get handcuffed and they're in a police car. Because this is what they saw their pops do. This is what they saw their uncles do.
That's what Vic said when he was 7 and 8. That's all he saw in life was dog fighting. Like, he never knew. All the cool dudes on the block, his uncles, his older cousins, that's all they did. So, like, to them, that was a way of life. Like, that wasn't something wrong to do. That was a culture.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And
so when he got older and he had to put some money in for his people to do it, he ain't really see nothing morally wrong with that, because that's how all his life. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we just need to. That's something that we just need to tell the kids, man. It need to be out there. And I was having a conversation with my pops probably last year about this. You know, when I was talking about a situation when I had got in trouble, I was like, man, I didn't know what I was doing was wrong. I said, in hindsight, when you think about it now, yeah, I can see what was wrong, but I didn't think what I was doing was wrong. You know, I knew that it just seemed small to me. It seemed minor, and I think we just need to get out there. We need to talk to the youth, and just let them know. Like, cause sometimes, you know, it's just, I don't know how to word it, man. It's just sometimes not knowing is the worst thing. Yeah. Not knowing is worse than knowing sometimes. You know what I mean?
This is G.I. Joe. Remember the end of G.I. Joe, the cartoon? And now I know, and no one's half the battle. Remember that? That's how every episode ended. Like,
it did, didn't it? Yeah, that was one of my favorite shows too back in the day, man.
Yo, if Mr. John Duncan was a superhero, who would he be?
If I was a superhero, wow. Who would I be?
And why?
If I was a superhero, who would I be? Man, that's a crazy question, man.
I know. That's why I've been throwing that at people lately. It makes you just takes your mind off everything that got to do with your music and your project and anything that anybody else is going to ask you, and just breaks up the monotony a little bit.
Cause somebody asked me if I could like have a superpower, what would it be?
Right.
But a superhero.
Right.
I don't want to say Superman. I don't want to be Superman. You gotta save too many people. You gotta be too many places at one time. Name some superheroes.
Hulk, Spider-Man, the Avengers, Thor.
I would be. Man, I don't know, man. I'm stumped. I might gotta tweet that one back to you. I don't even know it.
Well, you said superpower. What would your superpower be?
My superpower would be to read people's minds. I always want to know what people are thinking. You know.
Okay.
So that would be my superpower.
I like that movie. Think where the dude could hear all the thoughts of all the women.
Was it?
No, he was everywhere he walked. He could hear what the women thought. Like, he never knew what women thought, and he was always thinking from his perspective. But somehow he had this this thing that happened to him, and that he could hear what women thought. Mel Gibson was actually the actor. Yeah,
I remember that. That was a good movie.
And then it kind of messed him up because now he really could feel how women felt. Like, yo,
yeah, and he was being a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie. But yeah, that's what I would do. Like, read people's minds. But when it comes to a superhero, I probably won't be a superhero, man. Too much responsibility, man.
Well, I mean, being a Christian artist, same thing. Not a superhero, but too much a whole lot of responsibility.
It is. You know what? and I was thinking about this the other day, man. Like Lecrae, I'm thinking about how he's getting pushed, to the forefront of everything right now. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, maybe not at this point. Like they say God won't put more on you than you can handle.
Yeah.
And then what that means is kind of, to me, like, yesterday, what you can handle, what you're dealing with today, you couldn't deal with yesterday or last week or last month. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So what you could deal with next month, it'd be a whole different level of what you can handle right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
And also, your might not be pushed into that way. You might be pushed in a different way that's dealing with another group of, people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you don't really do the same thing twice exactly the same way with everybody.
Yeah, I think that's what I was saying, like, in the beginning when I was saying, like, when people ask me is music my calling, I would say, well, music may not necessarily be my calling. Music is one of my gifts.
Right.
God gives each one of his children his gift, and music is one of my gifts. If he takes me to that level, then there's a lot of maturation that has to come with that. Right. And if he put me in that level, then I know if he put me there, then, I would be ready for it. He would make me ready for it, because he would give me something.
It looked like Lecrae had, like a lot of people was like, in the beginning when I first got, a lot of people was thinking he was more holier than thou. Like, he wouldn't do anything that had to do with, secular and all that before and everything. So when he started doing it, some of his fans were looking at him like kind of crazy, like, what's up? But, it's like that transformation, like God had to pour enough into him before he could take him out into that lane.
Things the audience, I think when people first perceive Lecrae, I think he's perceived as, well, before he was kind of perceived as that church artist. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wasn't like one of the artists that's going to go out to the streets and really get his hands dirty.
Right.
He's not going to be performing at the clubs or in the hood. He's going to be performing at churches.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so in order to get those people, he has to start working with those secular artists. Well, not has to, but that's an opportunity for him to minister, is being with those secular artists, to do a song with Saigon and, all
somebody,
these people.
And I can't remember because I just read it. It's somebody who was a secular artist and is either made their transformation. I think it was it was No Malice. I'm almost sure that one of the things he did was reach out to Lecrae.
They did a song together that was on the Church Clothes project.
But I mean, not before like music. In his transformation.
Oh, he did?
I think one of the things he said, and I have to check this though, but I think one of the things he said, he reached out to Lecrae. Like someone who was already doing it, to like sow something into him, like on that spiritual side and in his transformation. And I think that's very important. I think there's a lot of people, either they got to reach out to us or we got to reach out to them and make ourselves more available. I think the problem is we separate ourselves too much.
Yeah. I mean, No Malice is a good dude. I interviewed him too, like at His Image magazine, like doing the transformation when he first wrote his book. Right. I wanted to really hear his story and what he was going through. So, God just worked so majorly in his life. You think about the different things that he went through and the things that he saw.
Right.
It's like, wow, like just his testimony, man, is an awesome testimony. But it's good to have those people. Because Lecrae was in the spotlight. He's the biggest Christian hip hop artist that we have. Right. Rapper. So
Grammy Award winner now. Yeah.
Grammy Award winner. Like that's huge. That's huge for the culture, man.
Yeah.
But that's just a start. So that would have been a perfect person for him to reach out to.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because he even told me. He said, I don't think No Malice claims a Christian artist title.
Right.
And he told me. I asked him his last question. I said, "Are we gonna be able to expect a Christian album from you?" And he was like, I don't know about that. He said, you probably won't see a Christian album, but you just definitely gonna see the content change in his music.
Right.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it. They know that, even if they don't know me any more than they know the chairman of General Mills.
not giving God your all. You doing what you think is right.
Right.
But a lot of times when I have a conversation with God, he'll tell me, you need to do more. You think you're doing it all, but you need to do more. And I was so frustrated. I think, man, I wasn't even having a lot of dialogue like with my wife. She could tell that I was just kind of in a depressed mood. And I think one day out the blue, I said, let me just try again. You know, and I said, I'm gonna do things differently. And I just started to read the Word of God.
Right.
I read the Bible. I was reading this book about family finances, family, friends, and finances. And I read another book about just dealing with your past issues. This was probably like a 30-day process. You know, I called another lender, and long story short, because I don't want to get too long, everything worked out this time. You know, there was no problems, and that just showed me like, okay, where would I be right now if I doubted God?
Right.
You know, like God, I could have easily given up and still been in that apartment right now. Right. But we had a checklist, and God gave us every single thing on that checklist. Right. And that's why I came up with the song Grateful. Like, man, if you just listen throughout the song, I'm talking about the house. He gave me everything I wanted, even trade ceilings. Right. It's my inheritance. Me and sin, no comparisons. Right. Doubt is far away. Now the thought is embarrassing. Right. You know what I mean? Like, just to even think about doubting God, it's embarrassing for me to even think that after what he just did for me. So, I mean, that's how the whole song came.